So, black women don't do it? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So I'm pretty sure by now, most people are aware of the situation that Shannon Sharpe is in right now. He was accused of, I believe, some type of abuse by a 19-year-old white female that he was messing with. And of course, Antoin Daniels had basically covered this topic on his after hours show. And, the black females, some of the black female panelists, they're getting their feelings. Why? Because for some reason, black females getting their feelings and get upset if a black man is dating with a non-black woman, as if they have some ownership, possession over black men. But, the topic did get on about Shannon Sharpe. And, they were talking about how, where he was messing with this white woman and what's wrong with him, with a 19-year-old messing with this white female. And the panelists were saying, the guys, well, it had nothing to do with her skin shade. He could have gotten screwed over right now by any female. And there was a panelist on by the name of Kelly, and she said, well, black women don't do it.
Black women have nothing to do with why Shannon Sharpe is in the
Well, if she was black, y'all wouldn't even care, though.
It wouldn't have happened if she was black.
No.
We all know the black woman would have took the 10 million. Actually, the black chick would have took the $2,500 a month and been quiet, because that's what he was breaking off over. That's what the black chick would have did.
And if y'all please cut the cap with these black women would never do this and all that. Baby, black women have done it all and do even more. What you mean?
Name the black chick that extorted a black man.
Okay, I would say that most females would take the money, not just black women. Every black woman would take the money and no white woman would. Most females would just take that money and walk away. But there have been more black men who've been wronged by black women than white women. As a matter of fact, black men get wronged by black women all the time. So what is this woman talking about? We all familiar with Byron Banks, right? They did a whole movie on this. Was the football player that was lied upon by another black female, claiming that he basically raped her when they had consensual sex. So Byron Banks had his life pretty much turned upside down over a lie that she didn't admitted that she was wrong. Nothing happened to him, but I believe he inevitably got his shot and to play with in the NFL. But he missed out on the possibility of participating in the draft, which is a one-in-a-lifetime chance, was taken away from him because of a lie by a black female, right? And then we also heard of Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver of the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs. We heard a story about what happened to him with his baby mama, living girlfriend. Now, she's derailed his life over a lie, right? Then there's Merlin Santana. Merlin Santana was killed by a black woman's lie. A female that I think he may have been messing with or something like that, and decide he didn't want to deal with her anymore. Well, that female lied to some male person she knew and said that he raped her and killed that man. And that was like the early 90s when this happened. It was Merlin Santana who was, he was in the Cosby Show when he was a kid. He was in the Steve Harvey Show. He was in a bunch of things, and lost out his life over a lie by a black woman. And I can tell you, $10 million ain't worth your life, or any amount of money for that matter. And right with Mike Tyson, remember Mike Tyson was accused by the black chick that he raped her in a hotel. You go to somebody's hotel room at night, and what you expected. Not to say that gives a man a right to sexually assault a female, but does anybody believe this foolishness? Was there any evidence that he did this to this woman? It's sadly that you don't need evidence nowadays. They just believe the woman in a man's life is turned upside down. Now, thankfully, I don't think Tyson really was harmed much by this, because there's a lot of people who were. Right? Then there was Clarence Thomas. Remember Anita Hill? claimed that he, quote unquote, was sexually assaulting her on the job. In other words, he was trying to pursue her when they in the workplace, right? We all know the story of the supposed pubic hair on the sole or something like that nonsense. So this man almost had his life derailed and turned upside down because of a black female. And then we all remember the Duke lacrosse team. They were white, and it was and again had their college career turned upside down because of liable black women. So people say that this is about race. This is not about a race issue. All the evidence tells us that it's not a race issue. This is a gender issue. Any woman of any race can derail the life of any man of any race. And we've seen this time and time again. We saw this happen with Terrence Shannon Jr., right? He was a basketball player in college, and he was accused of rape by a female, and his college career was derailed. Now, I believe he's going to be in this NFL draft. Now, what I find funny though was that the article lists the woman as the accuser and the victim. They don't tell her name or what her race is. So again, this is evidence. This is not about race. This is about ridiculous gender laws that have gone way too far. Anyway, but for that female Kelly to say that black women don't do it, it's just, you talk about it, just a blatant nonsense lie. Well, that's as blatant a nonsense lie that I've ever heard. Anyway, like I said, y'all, this is my 2 cents on this, and absolutely, yes, black women do it. And as always, until next time.